So I'll start over again. At a baseball game, Sheena bought a sandwich for $6.95 and 2 pretzels for $2.75 each. She paid with a $20 bill. How much change did she receive? And it says, solve this problem any way you choose. Use bar diagrams to help. And we've done a little bit of work with bar diagrams, and they may help some of you, and some of you they may not. But we're looking at 6.95 and 2.75 twice. And we'll be adding those together. Well, if you used a bar diagram to help, I suppose you could maybe draw a line right here and call this 2.75. Draw another line right here, call it 2.75, and then the remainder would be the 6.95. But you know you end up having to do the same thing. You're going to have to add them all up together. And but that's not the final answer, whatever we get there, because there's more to do. That's just the total that she spent, if you read the question carefully. They want to know how much change did she receive. Well, to figure that out, we need to know what the total is. So 5 and 5 and 5 is 15, carry the 1. 1 and 9 is 10, plus 14 is 24, put down the 4. I'm putting a decimal down now, I'm going to carry the 2. 2 and 2 is 4, plus 6 is 10, plus 2 more is 12. So $12.45. So now I'm going to take $20 and I'm going to subtract 12 and 45 cents. And then whatever that answer is, answers this question. How much change did she receive? Because she spent $12.45, whatever's left over, that's how much change she would get back. And I'll let you guys figure that one out on your own. Moving down, it says, what other way can you represent this problem situation? Well, I mean, we did it a couple ways up here. We did it with a bar diagram. I suppose you could write something like 6.95 plus 2.75 plus 2.75 equals, we know what it equals now. It's 12.45, 45, okay. And then I could just set it up like I did up above here, 20.00, subtracting 12.45, and then whatever answer that would be, all right? Next page. So it says here, how can you represent a problem with bar diagrams? Well, you guys know how to do this already, but let's see what it says here. Monica wants to buy all of the art supplies shown on this sign. She has a coupon for $5.50 off the cost of her purchases. What will Monica's total cost be after the discount? Now, you guys are going to be getting a lot of word problems as we go on here, and you have to read them carefully. So, she is spending this much. So you would just simply add those up. And then from that, whatever that is, I'm just going to call it X. I'm going to let you guys figure that out. And it actually looks like they do it down below. But whatever X is, then from X, you're going to subtract $5.50. And that'll tell you how much she actually spent, because she gets a discount. $5.50. Okay? And then they talk about modeling it here, and they put up another bar diagram, and each one of these bars represent this cost, which is the same thing in this as this sign up above. Okay? So then it says the total cost before the discount is $108.15. So from that, you're going to subtract $5.50, and that's what they do right here. And then her total cost finally will be $102.65. So then it says, how could you decide if your answer makes sense? Well, if we go back a week or so, we've been doing some rounding and estimating. And so this is what came to mind for me. $59, that's really close to 60, so I'm going to put a 60 here. $24.95, well, I'm just going to call that 20. 995, that's really close to 10. 1350, well, that's close to 10. I'm going to add those up. 60 plus 20 is 80. 80 plus 10 and 10 is 100. So I'm going to come back down here, and I'm going to write approximately. Remember, a little squiggly line means approximately, and I'll put $100. Okay, and then this was the cost after the discount. So if we just did some mental math, some estimating, we know that, yeah, that's probably correct. I mean, if we came up, when we did the mental math, if we came up with 250, and then after we did our figuring, we come up with 102, we made a mistake somewhere. So you can write down, you can use mental math or rounding to get an approximate answer. On occasion, sometimes you guys will have a problem and you'll put down an answer and it's not even close. And you just need to double check your work. And a good way to double check it is just doing some quick mental math. All right? Let's see here, 67. It says Nate has $30.50 and he wants to buy his dog a sweater that costs $15, a toy that's $3.79, and a leash that's $14.79. How much more money does he need? And the first question they ask you is, what do you need to find before you can solve the problem? Well, what do we need to find before we do anything else? Ms. Maldonado, question?
The total cost of all his items.
Yeah, that's a good way to phrase it. I listed them before, but a total, cost of all 3 items. Or somebody could say that the cost of the sweater, the leash, and the toy. Okay? Once you have that, then we can, work with it. But you can't do anything until you total those up. And it says he has $30.50. How much more money does he need? Well, so we'll call it X, the total equals X. Then you're going to take $30.50 and you're going to subtract X. I don't know what X is. I'm going to let you guys figure that out. But it's going to be, X is going to be the cost, the total of these 3 items right here. Then it says draw a bar diagram to represent the problem and then solve the problem. Well, we'll probably have already solved it by then. And it says show the equations you use to solve the problem. Well, I'm going to just do the bar diagram for starters here. Okay. And one bar is going to be $15. Another bar is going to be $14.79. And then I should have made those larger. And then a small one. Ooh, I'm going to use my white out here. And the small one is going to be what? The $3.79. I'll just draw a little arrow there. 3.79, since I probably can't get it to fit. All right. And show the equations you use to solve the problem. Well, again, whatever the answer is, and I'll let you guys figure that out later, that would be sufficient to show. Okay. All right. Number 3. it says, what is that? Maria has $15. She buys a ticket to a movie and a smoothie. How much money does she have left? Okay. Well, over here is the cost of the popcorn and the smoothie and the ticket. It says, what do you need to find before you can solve the problem? And that would be the cost, or the total cost of the smoothie and the movie. Draw two bar diagrams to represent the problem. So the first bar diagram, I'm assuming this is what they want. One is going to represent the movie, which is $9.50. That's going to be most of it. 9.50, that's the movie. And I'll put an S here for the smoothie, and the smoothie is what, 2.85. Okay? And I don't know what that is, but I'll just call it X. And as time goes on, you'll be doing problems that use letters in place of numbers when you guys get into algebra. And so a second bar okay, this will be X, and this is how much she has left. Actually, let's see here. How could I do this? The whole thing is $15 because that's how much she started with. And so this here, I'll just draw some lines. This area here and a little arrow is what's left. What is the solution to the problem? Show the equation you use to solve the problem. Well, they say use bar diagrams to help, but I mean, simply put, you could draw an equation 950 adding 2.85 equals, and then it's going to be, we'll call it X, then it's going to be $15 subtracting X equals whatever you guys figure that out to be. Okay. Next page. Let me see something here. Actually, I think I'll end the video there. I want to double check something.